She is.
Right.
She's
We are officially live, and see if anybody's going to be tuning in here. And but I'll get everything set up still. So, guys, if you're paying attention, welcome. We're getting things set up for the podcast, the official recording. But you can kind of watch us go around. Maybe we'll speed this part up so it'll look like a kind of one of those videos where we just go real fast.
Yeah. So I need to connect, and then I'll share the live feed as well. Right?
Okay.
And that usually how it should happen.
That sounds good.
Yes.
But we can still conversate like normal because
Yeah, absolutely.
This is behind the scenes. This is what it looks like. How it
Yeah.
works.
So you know what I didn't think about is we should have went ahead and had Wolf and Iron's team set up on the Movember website.
I actually got that set up.
Good. Look at you.
Yep. And so, and I put in a post earlier today.
Yep.
That guys can go ahead and join there. So I haven't really done anything to promote it, and we've got some. We're gonna do some giveaways and things like that for the best Mo Bros, but haven't decided what those are going to be quite yet. So we're still working on the details.
Okay. Yeah, and like we were talking about the other day, it's like, even if we get a handful of guys and almost just kind of lay the foundation, I feel like that's success.
Yep, I agree.
So then to find the, is there a link to like the live, like?
So if you go to whoa, that's bright. If you go to facebook.com
Yep.
/Wolf and Iron Co.
Gotcha.
And that's our Facebook page.
Gotcha.
I see one somebody on there's live.
Iron.com /
No, if you go to facebook.com / Wolf and Iron Co.
Oh, gotcha.
That's one way to get there.
Oh, because you're doing it in the community.
No, actually, that's the. Oh, you can see my butt. Look at that,
Yeah.
man. That's why we do squats, boys. Hey, Patrick.
There we go.
Everybody's gonna know how to hack my Facebook now. I see that you joined. That's good.
I need to turn on my notifications so I know what's going on.
All right. This just might not work.
And then share. Tune in.
Okay, let's see how we sound here. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go with these mics. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 3, 4, 5. All right, I think we're good. There you are.
Wow, that's I didn't realize it's a wide angle.
Yeah,
That's great.
camera does a good job.
Yeah, it does a good job.
All right, man. Let's get started.
Yeah.
I'm ready if you guys are.
Where'd you want me?
You can just sit here. That's fine. And maybe if Brian gets here in time, we'll sit in the other chair and we'll figure out. You guys might have to pass the mic. I'm going to start recording now, but I'll give you the longer cable in case you need to pass there.
Cool.
So is it Alan or
Aled.
Aled? A-L-A-D?
LED.
A-L-E-D. Okay.
Crazy Welsh name.
Crazy what?
Welsh name.
Welsh name. Well, that's cool though. You're different at least.
There's not too many of us now.
Easy, Cody. Easy, man.
I know. I better move that because that'll happen again.
All right, guys. Welcome to, I think this is our very first live podcast thing that we've done.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon and I have done an Ask a Man series live before, but it's usually on Instagram, and it's just me and Brandon, and we don't know what we're doing. But, here with the three of us, we should be professionals now and get this thing done right.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, first of all, just thanks to you, Cody, for setting this up.
Yeah.
I know that you've had a lot of things going on. If you guys don't know, Cody Lanham is my producer. He's also a good friend and just a great guy to know. And he's the guy you want to have in your corner, basically. Sorry, man. And he's been heavily involved in Movember. Actually, you and I met through Movember.
We did.
And
we all met through.
well, technically we all met
through
through Movember.
Technically, yeah.
So it's another benefit there of joining up, meeting good guys. But Cody's been passionate about this project, or the mission and movement for Movember for some time now. So, and I know you set up a lot of things throughout the year, so I appreciate you putting this together as well. And I'm also joined by Alan. What's your last name? Watson. Okay. Like Dr. Watson. You've probably never heard that before, though, right?
Never. No, it's a new one on me.
That's a new one. Okay. So the first question. Well, let me just tell you guys what we're here for, and also let me just give thanks to Primal Brewery. So Primal is actually just down the road from the shop that I work at, and but Cody also has connections here, and so I really appreciate the guys at Primal putting this thing, opening up the room for us back here to get together, and very cool setting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Can I add to that?
you can grab the mic there.
Yeah. So the really cool thing that Primal is doing this year is they're getting heavily involved. We've got several events throughout the month, and they've set a goal, and
Brian.
yeah, they're looking to really to give back this year. So we've just had some. Actually, I'll let you introduce Brian. He just we had our other interviewee just arrived. So
Come on in, man.
Sweet.
We're live. Just watch out for the cables there. You can join me here on the
Thanks, guys.
couch of awesome.
Sorry I'm late.
It's good. I'm Mike Yarbrough.
Hey, Mike, Brian Helpers.
Here's a mic.
Alan. Yeah, Brian. What's up, Cody?
what's up, right?
Man.
It's good
So
to
we're
see
doing we're doing a live Movember podcast thing
Yeah.
that you're aware of, and you're the founder of Summit Coffee.
Not the founder.
Not
I'm the
the
owner and
The
CEO, and I've
Okay.
been the owner for 7.5 years.
Okay.
Summit's been around for 20 years, so I was 13 when Summit opened. So
Okay.
you.
Cool.
Just opened your second location,
uh,
right?
fourth. Yeah.
I just knew Asheville in the year.
Yeah. So we have 2 in Davidson and 1 in Asheville, and then our biggest segment of our business is the roasting business. So we import and distribute coffee all over the country.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of playing moderator here,
Yeah.
and I've only got 2 mics. That's how prepared I was for
Sweet.
putting this thing together. But we've got everybody can hear us through that mic.
Yeah.
That's on the Facebook thing anyhow. So I just want to introduce everybody and give everybody a chance just to talk about a little bit about what your experience is with Movember, why you're passionate about it, what got you involved, and that kind of stuff. Alan was here first, but you're holding the mic, so I'm gonna let you go. This is one of the things. He's a Welsh gentleman. So.
Well, thank you. I'm Brian Helfrich, again, like I said, owner and CEO of Summit Coffee. I have been doing Movember since 2011, so it will be my 8th year as the Mobro. Started in conjunction with my first November at Summit Coffee. I got in tune to Movember when I was a sports journalist. I was a national sports writer for Sports Business Journal and was actually covering some of the interactions Movember was doing with some of the professional athletes, and decided to host a team at Davidson and create some events up here, including a run that we do every year. And I was particularly drawn to the cause because I think it's massively important. And when I became aware of men's health issues and all these things that were prevalent, I felt pretty in the dark. And so I imagine that a lot of other folks felt in the dark. My dad has had prostate cancer twice and survived. And so it was also near and dear to my heart. And he is a Mobro every year as well. And he's 68 years old and has a white mustache, and it's pretty great.
Silver Caterpillar.
Yeah, and when he went through his second battle with prostate cancer, our friends at Movember and JJ Owen, who used to be there, sent my folks a really nice package and thoughtful note and book and everything in the hospital. And so relationships like that are the reason why we keep doing it every year.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we pass it over to Aled.
Yeah.
Aled, the first question everybody's going to ask is, where are you from? And I've mentioned that you're Welsh, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very Welsh. So yeah, I'm from Wales originally. Tiny town, border town called Wrexham, North Wales. I moved to Charlotte in 2013.
Yeah.
I've been a Mobro now this is going to be my 13th year.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I started kind of a couple of years really, after it kind of started. And I was just telling Cody a little earlier on, initially when I first started, it was just an excuse to grow a mustache, right?
Yeah.
I was younger. I played a lot of rugby. And then through school, college, and after that, initially for the first, I would say about 5 years, really, it was more of just an excuse to grow a mustache and for people to ask me why, so then I could tell them why I'm doing it, really. Get some of that awareness out there, make people aware of, mental health issues in general.
Right.
Then it became more personal as I kind of got a little older. I started knowing a lot more people that were affected by things like mental health issues, and moreover than not testicular cancer and prostate cancer. Some of my good family friend had testicular cancer twice. After that, I kind of moved to the States in 2013, and then my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Found it early, so good news there. And then while here, I had a guy who was on my team who sadly took his own life.
Yeah.
And again, another thing that kind of helps me try and push, Movember, not just for the cancer aspect, but obviously the mental health aspect as well.
Yeah.
And then last year, my best friend got diagnosed with a cancer of his arm, chest area. So again, something else that kind of keeps me plugging on. And what's one of the main reasons why I wanted to get Movember more recognized in Charlotte?
Yeah.
Because when I got here, the first year I got here, I think there was an event at Sycamore Brewery, and there was another guy who ran the Charlotte team. And then after that, there was kind of nothing going on.
Yeah.
I was always trying to find something to do other than just promote it myself. Friends and family donate a couple $100.
Sure. Yeah.
Go. So I created the Movember Charlotte page on Facebook and Instagram just for people who don't necessarily have a team and just want to get involved. So I created that. I think we had about 20 people signed up last year, which is great. Hopefully I'll get the same amount this year. We raised about $5,000 through individual sponsorship and the event that we had last year at Flight in Charlotte. So I'm hoping to get something off the ground this year and be even more involved and kind of push it, going forward, really.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought the Movember's introduction into mental health, which was not part of their original focus, but that was a handful of years ago. I mean, do you know when it was?
Probably like 3, 4.
Yeah, I thought that was a tremendous.
Not that many years ago.
Yeah,
but
and I thought it was a tremendous cause and really important to focus on. So I'm glad that they went there.
The grand scheme of things, do you think there's probably more people affected by mental health issues than there are that are affected by, the various different types of, cancers that can affect men? Many, many more. The stat that's always put out is 510,000 men die a year from suicide and taking their own lives. One second. Right? But it's not just, taking your own life. There's many different types of mental health issues that, men in general deal with, from suicidal thoughts to depression, etc. That, as with men, or most men, just put down to, screw it, I'll just put it away in this area of my brain and I'll be good.
Yeah.
But I think it's helping a lot more.
Absolutely.
Now it's brought to the forefront of Movember and what we as Movember is trying help people with, I think.
Yep, totally agree. Cody, let's hear your story, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm also an 8-year Mobro, and I started in 2011. In fact, I wore the first team that I was ever on. I wore the original shirt.
Nice.
So it's the Sons of Manarchy. So it's we were a mustache. We were a mustache club.
That's
yeah.
great.
And the 2 years that I was on that team, I think combined we raised over $35,000. So it was it was a massive team. Had a lot of fun doing it, but I originally got involved in Movember because more of along the lines of the brotherhood. It's like I moved to Seattle at the time in 2011, and I knew no one, and I just happened to meet a group of guys in the complex that I was living in. And one of them walked up to me after we, had a few, casual conversations. He said, "Hey, man, do you, you want to join our team and have some beer?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course I do. Yeah, that'd be great."
Yeah.
And so, got to go to some events. I raised a couple $100. Got to have some beers with some new friends. Right. Excellent. But through that first year, and I was giving me chill bumps thinking about it, I started having these conversations with these people. These men. And one in particular, I ran into this guy and had this hideous mustache. In fact, I got lame Mo my first year at the Movember Gala. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. So to your point, it's just about growing a mustache. It's this hideous thing. Why do you have this hideous thing on your face? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. right? And
I would
so
like to interject and just say that
Yeah.
the first one I went to, I did get sexiest.
oh, okay, all right. He's trying to one up me.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I ended up having a conversation with this guy, and he had been battling with prostate cancer, or I can't off the top of my head, I don't remember, which one it was, but and it survived. And he just looked at me and says, "Thank you for doing what you're doing." I had like a 30, 45-minute conversation with this guy randomly on the side of the road. And at that moment, I was like, man, this is something I got to keep doing. And so here we are 8 years later, and I've got tons of stories just like that, just like each one of you do. And I just want to point out that, like, literally us four in this room, we know each other because of Movember.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And it's taken me, I now have Mo Bros, like, guy friends all over the country, literally all over the world. My friend James Carson out in Australia, who also does a paddle challenge. He got me involved in the paddle challenge, and now we do a paddle challenge here. It's an amazing network of men and women coming together for a great cause. So, yeah,
That's good, man.
Yeah.
So my story is this: I'm a 5-year Mo Bro, so I'm a young guy compared to the rest of you Mo Bros here. But I got started, I think, kind of like because it was cool to grow a mustache, kind of like what you're talking about. And I think that's about, we'll see, Wolf and Iron is 5 years old, so I must have just been starting Wolf and Iron at the same time. And I was like, this sounds cool. I want to be involved in whatever this is going to be. And I didn't put this together until recently, but my dad is an alcoholic, was an alcoholic. He actually died last year from alcoholism. And at age 63, he looked about 83 years old. And it wasn't until really after he died that we kind of began to see how much anxiety was really driving that, and how a lot of the alcoholism really was a mental health issue that just wasn't taken care of. I mean, like at his age and in his generation, this kind of stuff wasn't available, right? And one of the cool things about Movember is that, like you said, it's not just about testicular cancer, prostate cancer anymore. It's about mental health issues as well, suicide, depression, and things like that guys usually struggle with, and we don't talk about, and we don't get help with. If I can prevent there from being another guy like my dad, or going through what he went through, I want to do that. And, we talk a lot about raising money sometimes, what kind of events we're going to do, raising money, things like that. The biggest thing about Movember is really just the awareness. You got a whole month where you're actually bringing up the subject of mental health issues, depression, suicide and all that kind of stuff, plus cancer. And you're helping guys to understand this is not like a lone wolf type of thing. Like, you're the only guy dealing with this, go get it checked out, stick around. Yeah. So for you guys, we've talked a little bit about, how Movember helps guys connect, kind of like we are right now. What kind of changes have you guys seen just in the lives of guys that have been part of Movember? I know some of you have mentioned that you've met guys who are either affected by testicular cancer or they have a parent or something like that. Any of you guys have like a story to share about someone who's basically been diagnosed and got help in ways that they probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for the mission here?
Go ahead.
I do. You do?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll go back to my best friend's story. Actually, the guy I was his best man in his wedding last year, and that's kind of my story. So, I used to get a hard time from a lot of my friends for plugging Movember every November, right? Because they just don't want to see it float up on their Facebook page, and I'm such a pain in the ass when it comes to just telling them to go and get themselves checked out, things
Right.
like that. And I don't care that they think that, because if I'm the squeaky wheel, at some point somebody's going to take notice. And he did, eventually. At some point, he took notice. He lives out in Spain, but we've known each other for years since school and things like that. And he'd been living with basically just like pain, in his chest, in his shoulder. Put it down to just like getting old, too much rich food, overexerting himself, whatever it is. And then eventually, he found a lump there as well. He's like, I wonder what that is. It's kind of painful, but whatever. Put it off for a while, and then it was, I think it really was around this time last year where he was like, started seeing me post, about Movember again, and about, about the importance of just not letting stuff lie. Went to the doctor, found out that he's got, I think he had a large tumor which went from his chest here all the way into his arm. It's like the size of a pint glass. You know, obviously he didn't know about that. So then he went through, from that point on, his first round of treatment, and now currently going through his second round of treatment. So I feel vindicated in my in my incessant posting and updates and asking, because at the end of the day, I might have saved at least one person's life, right? And I think that's the most important thing for me. Mm-hmm. It's like if I can be that squeaky wheel and I might save that one person's life that one time, like my work is done. Doesn't matter how much money I raise or don't raise. That was exactly why I didn't really do anything for years when it came down to the actual money part of it. I'll just be that squeaky wheel, and if it helps one person, then I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's fine.
That's great.
Sure. Yeah. I've got tons of specific stories, but I think the most recent one would be, I guess, the paddle challenge team that we have here in Huntersville. There's 8 of us. And I approached 7 other guys last year, and 3 out of those 7 all had either their wife's fathers had been impacted by cancer, or a mental health or suicide issue, or their fathers had also had that issue. And I was actually really surprised, because I thought I was going to have a little bit of an issue, trying to convince these guys to jump on board with me, because sometimes you do. You start talking about, it is what it is. But as soon as I did, and as soon as I told them what it's all about, they're just like, man, that resonates with me so much. And I said, guys, look, hey, raise $500. That's all I'm asking this year. I know it's a big number, but raise $500. Half of them doubled that easily, just blew it out of the water, just because they were so passionate. And this year they're so excited to get back involved. I mean, these guys, they inspire me. And so that's, I think that's really where my story is finding people, reaching people who knew nothing about it, getting them to open up a little bit and get involved, and then watch them kind of open up, and at the end of the day, it's not really about us. Well, I mean, it is about us, but it's the kids, the wives that are getting left behind, the kids that are getting left behind, And so I think that's really my story. Yeah.
That's good.
I was going to say, actually, when you asked that question, nothing resonated with me. And I think this is a really important exercise, because out of the 3 of us, I'm the one that probably doesn't have a specific story about how my Movember campaign resonated.
Yeah.
But, I run a coffee business, and I have a team of people that work for me that do this every year. And we see, 600, 700 people a day. And so we're having these conversations like on the highest leverage you can. We're having so many of these conversations. And I was thinking a couple weeks ago about how I'd sort of lost sight of, like, why do I do Movember? And it's, again, if I'm not putting much effort into the fundraising, am I really making a difference? And I think hearing the stories you guys are talking about, and, maybe I'm waiting for my specific resonating moment, or perhaps it's happened and it just hasn't been shared with me. And so I think this is a good opportunity to say, gosh, I'm creating a platform with myself and with the people that work at Summit to make a difference. And that story may not make itself back to me, but it is important what I'm doing just from an awareness standpoint.
Absolutely.
I would almost say, I know you guys do a great job of advertising around the Movember stuff that you guys do. I've seen 5K stuff in the past and different things. And you're actually one of the few coffee shops or any place that I go to around here that really openly supports it. I mean, like your chalkboard will have stuff on it, about Movember. And so I have no doubt that guys that are getting impacted, I think it'd be kind of cool for you guys to do something like send an email out to your customers. Hey, has our Movember efforts made an impact on your life? I can guarantee you guys will get some stories.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It could be part of a fun campaign too. Again, we have the reach and we have the audience, so I think you'd probably get some people to raise their hand. And
yep.
Awesome.
When you guys first started, I know it was all about the mustache, and now you can move and you can do the races and other things like that. So there's other ways to get involved. Did you guys know that you could actually grow a mustache before you started Movember, or was it just kind of like, let me just see what happens?
I guess I just assumed I could. I'd never had one.
Yeah.
But I was just like, hell, whatever. I'll just see if I can. And whatever appears on my face is what I'm going to have.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you earlier on, right? Like, in my mind, even if your mustache is terrible, the worst mustache you could have, someone is going to ask you, why do you have that terrible mustache on your face?
Yeah. Yep.
Or why have you got that mustache? And it doesn't really matter if that's your in to, this is why I've got my mustache and this is why it's important. If I can do that, even with this scraggly bit or whatever else happened, that to me was like really important at that time. Luckily, I can grow a mustache. But I know people who can't, who do still help. And that's exactly what I thought when I first started.
I had never grown a mow. In the 7 years I've done it, it's taken many shapes and sizes. I was pretty stereotypical. I went handlebars the first year, maybe even the first 2 years, and I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to look sort of cool. I'm 24, whatever old I was, and not yet, or just got married, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?" And then my daughter, our first daughter, was born in November 14th, and so our baby photos, my wife was like, "Well, certainly you're going to shave for our newborn photo shoot," and I was like, "I know I'm not." And so we have some amazing newborn baby photos of our daughter and my mustache that's 14 days old and just
awful,
looks awful.
dirty.
But every time those pictures come up, it tells the story. It's why does your dad have a mustache? And hopefully she can tell that story with good humor and good purpose.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to go back to the Lame Mo Award.
Yeah.
It was the first year I'd ever attempted to grow a mustache. And I basically, less is more when you come to, trimming your mustache.
Yeah.
And, well, I didn't know that at the time. And I shaped it into this little thing that looked like a caterpillar that went across my lip. I mean, it was so bad. I was so embarrassed. And because if I just take a little bit more off, maybe this, and then I got it down to where it was pretty bad. So, and that was like, halfway through the month, and I had to live with this thing for 2 weeks. And so that was it. But since then I've crafted a nice mow, and it's something I'm very proud of.
Yeah. You actually, your mustache is fairly impressive how quickly it grows, I think. It's for the month of November.
Facial hair in general on me is like, it grows pretty quick. It's weird.
And I think it's one of those things where like the guys, when they start out when they're 20 and they try to grow facial hair and they're like, I can't do it. It's not me. But then when you get, add a few years onto that, and you'd be surprised what you can do.
Yeah.
That's what I've always seen.
You'd be surprised what you end up with at the end of every month.
Yeah.
Halfway through the month, people are like, this is not growing. It's terrible. But then at the end of the month, like I guarantee you, you're gonna have a decent enough mustache if you have something there.
Yeah, I feel like days 6 through 15 are the tough ones. It's like, because you can't really disguise that you're growing something anymore, but it doesn't look good. And you're like, people are like, why are you doing this? You look terrible.
Yeah, and well, it's all the I've stuck to it. It's like you become a walking, talking billboard.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there's the people that you see that don't, you can tell they're looking at you, like when you're going to the grocery store and they don't know you and they're just like, what in the world is this guy doing? I mean, sometimes you look like a creeper, for those couple of days. You just got to put up with it.
You got to deal with it.
And I see you looking at my almost mustache. Let me tell you how I remember it,
Right.
What are some of the challenges that you guys have done that have been successful to help guys get involved, the events and stuff like that, that just kind of get people going, either excited about Movember that have never been involved, or keep people, excited about it all through the month?
Yeah. I'll go. So, every year I try to get a couple of local businesses involved and try to do a couple of different events. And I think it's knowing when to get started.
Okay.
And so I find that I try to start promoting a little earlier into a few months out, really try to build up the excitement, because if you approach somebody, a week before November or November rolls around, it's your chances of having an effective campaign are pretty slim. So I really try to start approaching it a little early, and I learned that first couple of years. But once you start doing that, and I feel like I bring that passion when I have the conversation about it, where people just they buy in, they see it, and it's fun. And once you do that, there aren't really many challenges. Like, people want to give back, people want to have an impact, and so I've never really had an issue doing it. Just a couple of those little nuances of making sure that I'm having the conversation early enough so people can prepare. That's about it for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, last year was the first year that I actually ever physically tried to put anything on from an event standpoint, and I think it went pretty well. I learned from a few people that, again, starting that little bit earlier helps people think it's coming. It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's coming. And I do feel that, having enough content earlier on helps too. And like I said, I set up the Facebook and the Instagram pages just to be kind of constantly plugging this stuff throughout the year, as well as ramping it up towards November, which is kind of what I'm trying to do this year. Hopefully, we're in final stages of figuring out what events we can do this year. Hopefully, it's going to be back at Flight again for just a holistic event. Last year, it was a spelling bee around November men's health. We had some live music and an auction and a raffle, and a few of the breweries in Charlotte donated some beer, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the first event I'd ever put on myself, but I've been to events. Some successful, some not so successful. Some you get like 3 guys at, and then I always want to ask, why is everyone with 3 people here? And I've been to a couple that have had 50 plus guys back in the UK. It's kind of it's a lot bigger in the UK, I find, than which is kind of strange. I feel like it's a lot bigger in the UK than it is here in the States. Maybe it's just the area we're in. It's taking a while to trickle down. We're in the South. Guys don't really talk about anything in the South unless it's hunting or football, right? It could be that too. But hopefully with us trying to push a little bit more in here in Charlotte with some of my efforts, and then you guys in the other areas will try and get more people involved year on year, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, the event we've had the most success with, as I mentioned earlier, was the Twilight 5K. It's a nighttime running race that was a combination of wanting to do something for Movember and trying to bring some nightlife activity into Davidson. And it sort of kickstarted this series we do, but every year in November we do a 5K race at 6 p.m. just right as it's getting dark. And proceeds go to Movember, and our shirts are, we have the Summit logo with the mustache instead of a mountain.
Nice. And
pint glasses and everything. And Sierra Nevada's sponsored it for the last 5 years, so they donate beer and swag for all the runners. And certainly some people are there to run, but a lot of people are there for the Movember aspect of it. And all of our races end with parties afterwards. So we do a race, and then it ends with live music and beer, and we'll have probably 400 people there this year. So it's a good, impactful event and a good opportunity to, you get a concentrated group of people that are there for whether it's Movember or the race, but you have this network. You can say, here's why we're here. Here's what we're doing. Let me send you a link to our Movember page, A, B, and C. And so it's a good opportunity to share the story with people.
Brian, I actually met 2 of my very good friends now at one of your races. It was maybe 3 years ago.
Awesome.
I think. Yeah, we met at there. We ended up being some of the last people in the 3K.
Yeah.
And they were just hanging out, and now we're all good friends.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's good. That's a good thing about any of these kind of get-togethers. And one of the things that guys are really resistant to a lot of times is shaving, right? And I think that, especially maybe this is what you're kind of thinking of too, here in the South. I don't know if that's something we hold on to for more hard-headed. Probably not. It's probably just a man thing. But I know just changing, right? Having a change of any kind is a challenge for guys. And I think that sort of gets to the heart of a lot of what Movember is after, is just that, yeah, you're going to shave, you're going to grow your mustache out, you're going to be different, you're going to do things that are out of the norm for you, but you're also going to begin to think a little different. Because in order to go get checked out, in order to see about that lump in your chest or that pain that you're having or whatever the case is, you're going to have to do some things that feel uncomfortable and awkward and maybe you feel a little bit foolish. Mm-hmm. And, I think Movember is a good way to kind of break the ice, with that kind of stuff. I know some of you guys have got to run. We're going to wind down here. Wrap down?
Yeah,
Can we wrap down?
Let's wrap down.
I like it.
I didn't come prepared to wrap down, but for the Wolf and Iron Movember event, well, not an event, but for the challenge, we're going to have some awards that are going to be going out to the guy who has the best mow, who raises the most money. And I thought about doing something for the guy who has the worst mow, but this is so hard because, it's like in an online community, you don't want to be that guy that just that showed up and he just, he knew he couldn't grow a mustache, but he won some stuff anyhow.
I feel like he should win first place.
He should get first place, the most courage award.
That's right.
So we'll do something like that. That'll be coming out, and you guys will be able to go to wolfandiron.com/Movember, and that's more for the guys who are listening to this as it becomes a podcast. It's not up there yet for you guys who are doing this live, but we do have the Movember team out there, and I'll link to that here in just a little bit after this video is done. But wolfandiron.com/Movember, and you guys will be able to sign up and join our Movember team. We'll also have links and stuff like that to get in touch with any of the guys that are here on the in this discussion. And I don't know if you guys had anything else you wanted to add or anything you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Just maybe, everybody kind of just give a quick synopsis of what they've got going on this year.
Yeah.
So for myself, me and 8 guys, we're doing a paddle challenge. We're doing 6 miles around Lake Norman. on paddle boards, but the events that are being sponsored by Primal Brewery hosting 3 events here. They'll all be posted on the Primal Brewery events page. Kilted Buffalo is also getting involved. They're also doing like a band. You can buy a band, and I don't know exactly what the special is, but those proceeds are going to, of course, to Movember. So
that's cool. So far for me, I'm going to try and repeat our end of November event we had last year at Flight. We're about 90% there with all the preparations that we need to do. So it'll be at Flight in Charlotte, and then just in general, I'm trying to group in a couple of the local businesses to help out. Last year we had 3 or 4 salons actually assist by giving free shave downs for the day before, and obviously free shave downs at the end. I do want to plug Persimmon Salon, and I think that's actually in Huntersville, and Sheer Excellence, who assisted with a few of the guys who got shaved downs at the end of the as well. And, they donated a big chunk of change to the cause. So
nice.
This year it's more of the same.
It's good. Good stuff.
Awesome. And the Twilight 5K this year is next Saturday. It's November 3rd. It's at Summit Coffee in Davidson. And like I said, sponsored by Sierra Nevada. There'll be a band afterward. There'll be beer, and it's supposed to be not as cold this year as it has been in years past. So we're looking forward to an after party that lasts a little longer.
Nice. Well, look, I appreciate you guys coming out. I know this was kind of last minute, and but once again, that kind of shows how much you guys appreciate the cause. And I just look forward to connecting with you guys all through the month of November.
Yeah,
Sure. Thank you for having us.
All right.
awesome.
That's it. That's how we wrap up.
There's no real fancy way of
There's no way.
killing a Facebook Live, is
I
there?
know. No.
We're still on.
We're still alive, yeah. So, but that's okay. Thank you guys for joining.
thanks, man. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Thanks, dude. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Sorry I was late, guys.
No,
No,
it's
so,
fine.
yeah.
Meeting back from the airport.
And you're heading out again tomorrow, right?
Yeah, go to
See y'all later.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and then New York next week, and
Yeah. And then so the next Saturday.
I won't be here.
We put in our Movember
I'm
stuff.
running New York Marathon next Sunday morning, so but I have a team of people who will be here.
Okay. All right. I know you gotta go, so
Yeah.
I'll reach back out.
Yeah, please do.
All right, brother.
Good. Nice to meet
Trying to
you.
get up as well as Davidson.
Yeah,
I'll actually be out of town. I think that weekend, but I think I'm going to be there for a little bit.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
See if we can get up there for that time.
Cool. Good to see you guys. Thanks,
See you,
man.
Brian.
I know you gotta
Gotta
go.
go.
So
Good to see you guys.
I'll
All right. Good to meet you, Alan.
All right. See you.
We are still live, so don't say anything negative about me in front of all the people. I'm just gonna paste in our Movember link in there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm really impressed with the camera. That's pretty wide angle too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. How many? Let's see. We got anybody on right now that
We got 5 people on, maybe there might be
Awesome.
I don't know. But
Yep. I think there were a handful more than that a minute ago. I don't know if we knew anybody there. Sandy Power. That's some of Megan's family.
Mazatlan?
Yeah.
That's not around here, is it? She's from Mazatlan?
I think she must be traveling.
All right, guys, we're going to cut out. See you later. Thanks for joining.
See ya.
And